You guys, I hope I didn't piss anybody off with this video. And if I did, man, hey, I'm sorry. That's how it goes. But what's going on, everybody? Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt. This is O'Malley's Morphs, and we're in the lab right now, man. Just wanted to make a quick video, kind of explaining something that I have noticed personally, and this is just my opinion. That's it. I don't even really feel like I've talked to too many people about it. It has been touched on one other time that I was present for, and that is the difference between Instagram and Facebook as far as the reptile community goes. So, and again, this is just my opinion, and we use both of them for the snakes. I use Facebook all the time for promotion stuff for the tattoo shop. I have family, you know, on both of them. So like I said, you know, we use both of them. I think it's important to utilize both of them if, you know, you want to take your brand, you know, out to the masses. You have to use both of them, you know, and numerous others, hence why we're here. So just wanted to kind of touch base on that, and first and foremost wanted to say, you know, I ain't got a problem with either one. I mean, you know, I guess if I did have a problem, I would have to say, you know, everything, well, you know, I'm sure there's certain problems with both, but, you know, mainly the things that I have noticed is the differences in the groups, mainly Facebook groups, to be quite honest with you. I mean, there's some savage motherfuckers in some of these groups, you know. It's crazy. They, I mean, a personal friend of mine was just, I mean, to be honest, bullied. He was totally bullied because he spot cleaned his tubs. And that's a fucking fact, you know? He was just made fun of and just like fucked with because he spot cleaned his tubs. He would clean out the urate and the shit, clean around it. I mean, you know, I don't know, maybe, you know, there's other people that I guess are just keeping things on a different level. Now, if you keep your animals on paper towels and things like that, obviously when they go to the bathroom you have to clean it. But I know for a fact he was talking about cocoa, you know, the REPTILE or whatever he was using at that time. Maybe it wasn't that certain brand, but whatever. But yeah, and to me that kind of was crazy, you know. There was a couple groups that got shut down whenever Facebook went through that massive thing with the pets and pet groups, and you couldn't sell pets anymore on Facebook and all that. And it didn't just happen to the snake groups. There were, you know, dog breeding groups that got shut down. I mean, it was a big deal. So you can speculate on that all you want as to what happened with that. You know, I'm not the Joe Rogan channel, and I'm not going to get deep into that. But everything got shut down. You know, have to watch how you word things. You have to, I mean, work around so many things to participate in what's going on Facebook anymore. So, I feel like I got off track. You know, the groups are, I have friends in a lot of them, all of them actually. You know, I'm admin in one of them here locally that's doing great. The biggest group we have here locally now. You know, but it seems like about a year, at the beginning of the year, before the big crackdown with Facebook and everything, I mean, things were getting out of hand with how people were talking to each other and shit. Crazy, you know, like, I couldn't imagine being a new person wanting to get into the hobby and seeing how some of these people treated each other and talked to each other. I mean, it was absolutely insane. Now, when I went to Instagram, I only had my Instagram for the tattoos, which is KnoxVillain865. If anybody wants to follow me on that, I'll put it right down here. There's no I. It's not KnoxVillain. It's KnoxVillain 865. But that's all I had, and I actually had set up a breeding program and everything. And I didn't start a business page or anything like that until I had already produced animals and sourced them out. I mean, because I come from a culture, in the tattoo culture, to where you don't claim anything until you have done it, you're doing it, because that will get your shop broke down, your hands broken. I mean, these things were how it really went in the late 90s, early 2000s in what I do. So you were careful about these things, you know, and that's just how I was brought up. I've been tattooing since I was 20, you know, and I'm about to be 40. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't start O'Malley's Morphs until I had already been doing it. And actually what made me kind of kick me in the ass to start my own Instagram was a bunch of my customers, actually, the tattoo shop customers, reached out and they said, you know, hey man, I don't like looking at them snakes, you know, that's freaky to me. And that was, it was like, oh my God. So it was like an epiphany. I needed that person to tell me that so I could start, you know, the Instagram that I'm running now. And I mean, you know, it was a pretty pivotal point because it spawned me, or it kind of kicked me in the ass, like I said, to start everything. And at that point, I had already produced, you know, a couple animals, and you know, I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and just run it. Let's jump into it. And so that's when things kind of got serious, and you know, we became a part of the community. You know, I reached out to a couple people. One of the first people I ever reached out to was Chris from Ball Pythons 101, and we're still friends today, man. That's one of the coolest cats. I mean, I remember when he had a job and he would post pictures from his like fucking cubicle and shit, and that was just like crazy to me. He was the first person I ever met that I was a part of that transition where they went from working full-time and being a hobbyist breeder to being a full-time breeder. And he's doing great, you know, but he was positive. I mean, you know, and so I'd reach out to a couple more people and talk to a couple more people, and they were all so positive and like, yeah man, hey, welcome, what are you doing, what do you got, hey, that's awesome, you've been doing this for how long? And everybody they wanted to quit. Nobody was like, oh, you piece of shit, what are you doing here? I mean, and unfortunately that's what was going on in the Facebook groups at that point. Again, this was, you know, 2 years ago, a year and a half, if that, and it was brutal, man. I mean, it was crazy. So, and you know, I don't really know if I'm expecting anything out of this video, but other than to just bring it to light. You know, you know, there's loads of other ways to go about correcting someone or giving advice without just being an outright dick. I mean, you know, it's not that hard to be decent. You can change someone's whole day just by being nice to them. And, you know, and that's what I got on Instagram compared to on Facebook, you know. When I started making more friends on Facebook was when I started becoming more active in the groups, and I would message people. That's when I met, you know, Chris McDougall, got it right that time, from Snakenstein, who is one of the coolest dudes ever. You know, he's got the Ambush Project. If you guys haven't seen that, you should definitely go check out the Ambush Project. Oh, it's awesome. You know, I met Sean from SRS. I mean, so many cool guys that I know mainly from Facebook. And then there's some that I know mainly from Instagram. But, you know, there's great people on both platforms. So, and I have noticed that, I will say, since things have kind of slowed down and Facebook kind of stepped in and was like, hey, you know, broke things up and made everybody kind of rethink how they did things and all that, you know, it's been different. But you still get that just every once in a while. Somebody's like, oh, shit, they got to stick you with that sharpened toothbrush, you know, they've been making that shiv and they're just waiting on somebody to walk by. I mean, that's how I picture it. That's how ridiculous it is to be just an outright asshole for the sake of being an asshole, because you only look like a dick. I mean, we talk about you. I'm talking about you right now. So, you know, I mean, you know, but again, like I said, I'm not sure what I'm trying to get out of the video, other than it's just my opinion, man. And I'm ranting, you know, so it's crazy. But that's really all I wanted to make the video about. You guys definitely reach out, on either one of those platforms, at O'Malley's Morphs on Facebook or Instagram. Comment down below if you understand what I'm talking about. You know, I'm sure a lot of you will. There'll be a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, dude, I don't even have a Facebook. Or I've met so many people that are like, oh, I deleted my Facebook. You know, and if I didn't need it to keep in touch with certain people in my life and, you know, promote the tattoo shop and myself as a tattooer and the snakes, we have a business page on Facebook where I sell a lot of my hatchlings, you know, so I'm very thankful for that. If I could tell anybody what to be careful for, is just don't listen to everybody, you know. Do your research, do the proper research, know what you're talking about. Because there's plenty of it out there. There's so much research out there. You can do this. Trust me. But, you know, be yourself. Breed what you want to breed. If you want to make normals and just make normals for people, hey man, whatever. You know? It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. If that's what you want to do it. Be that guy, but be that guy. You know, don't get discouraged from some of these dickheads that don't want you in the business, because later you might get an idea how to do it and then you'll be stepping on their toes. Because that's, in all honesty, what it looks like. It may not be that way. It may just have a bad day, but you look like a dick. So, you know, you guys definitely reach out. Comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you will. Like I said, reach out on Facebook, Instagram. You guys, thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel. If you've made it this far, dude, you definitely have to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it, man. Hit that post notification bell so you know every time we upload a video. I'm probably going to be passing out, man. It's bedtime. It's late. The boys are asleep, so I need to get as much as I can. You guys want to see a snake real quick? Let's do that. Let's check out. this beautiful girl. That is Katrina. And Katrina is a female vanilla hurricane. I had to look real quick just to be sure, but she's doing great. Can't wait for her to get a little bit more size to her. Awesome headstand. You guys probably can't see that, but all over the headstand, man. So beautiful girl, and there we go. Can't be a mainly snake driven channel and not show you a snake. So you guys, I hope I didn't piss anybody off with this video, and if I did, man, hey, I'm sorry. That's how it goes. But hey, definitely subscribe to the channel, reach out, hit me up, let's talk about some shit. Going to bed. Later.